All right, we went to Sailor's Garden Center greenhouse earlier today and got most of our vegetables and seeds and everything that we wanted for the garden for this year. And we're gonna do whatever the garden version is of an unboxing video. All right, so just so you kind of get a sense of how our backyard is laid out. I don't use any chemicals or I use very few chemicals in the backyard, but we've got our raised beds here that we made down there. We have herbs, blueberries, raspberries, and we've got going so far are the garlic that gets planted in the fall. So this is our garlic coming up. I'll show you the scapes when those are ready here in a month or so. Then these are flowers that we got today, which we're gonna ignore for right now. And then there are a couple of my massive failures of seedlings. We got a root fungus of some sort. So we have these little itty bitty guy. You can see my tomato right there. I planted them just to see what would happen. So we'll keep working on them. There's Isla doing something. And so we use these primarily for vegetables. So these are my peppers that I started. Those are actually coming and doing okay. Spinach that I planted a little while ago, and then the peas that we planted probably a month ago. The other things we've got are Brussels sprouts growing back in here that I really, really like. So what we've got going on here, I got a couple new tomatoes so that they replace the ones that I didn't do a great job at. So we've got a yellow Brandywine, which gets big, tomatoes, as well as beefsteak. So we also have a couple cherry tomatoes, and we put those on the deck, and so those are on a container on the deck. And so kind of our theory on the garden is we grow things here that we can eat for supper. We don't grow things we have a lot of stuff to can or anything like that. So we just have enough tomatoes that we're able to have BLTs. We have enough beans that we're able to have a side dish of beans and those kinds of things. So we got a cayenne pepper. We also do a lot of herbs as well. So I've got basil, and these guys will go down in the herb garden down there. Some cilantro, which I never have good luck with cilantro, but we're gonna give it another try. My rosemary didn't make it through the winter, so we got a new rosemary. Here's some celery, which is really, really great. Having fresh celery is shockingly good. There are very few things I do as one-offs in the garden. So celery is just, you cut it off and it might grow back, but most likely won't. We got a parsley here that we take and dry in the so we can have that all winter long. And then bok choy. Bok choy is another one-off that once you harvest it, is just done. So, Isla, you gonna show us through these?
Sure.
All right, so we have, Katie really likes to make a zucchini summer squash salad. So there's a yellow squash and a green squash that we've got. Then we have butternut squash. We have, you can keep going, Isla. We have straight 8 cucumbers. Can you turn them so that people can see this direction? Turn them that way.
That's right.
Awesome. So we have cucumbers here as well. So we like to do birdhouse gourds, so I got some of those this year, and cantaloupe. And so this year, I struggle a lot with powdery mildew on my vines and gourds and those kinds of things. And so I have a cattle panel that we're gonna put up right here in this little section of the garden so that we can get them up off the ground so we don't have as many powdery mildew and other funguses that are leaf stuff. Patty pan squash. This is the squash to go with the for Katie to make the green and yellow salad that she really likes a lot. Got Isla some watermelon, carrots, lettuce. These are pickling cucumbers, so little baby cucumbers for pickling. Beans that I really like. Beets that I really like as well. These are some moonflower to go over by the deck, and they smell really good. Radishes, I've never done tricolored radishes before, so we're gonna see how those go. Sunflowers. Katie bought jicama. I have no idea how to grow jicama, but we're gonna learn and see if that'll work. There's another yellow squash, pumpkins, and then edamame. So the edamame turned out really great last year. Had some Japanese beetles, but we'll keep working on those. So this is the garden. That's all gonna go in this area right here, and the girls are gonna help me plant. All right, so it's a couple days later, and everything got planted over the weekend. I just wanted to show everybody where we ended up with stuff. So here's garlic again, just for some reference as to where we're at in the garden. All the beets are in here. None of them are coming up yet. We got the tomatoes in. We got their cages on. You can see down there all the herbs are planted. We like to, like I said, we like to dry the basil, parsley, cilantro if we get any, but the thyme and the rosemary and all those dudes dry really well. So we have a dehydrator and we dry with those in the summer and fall whenever we can harvest them and they're in good shape. So then you can see that my little tomato is still going, so that's good. So we got the squash back here, and then we did some rows. This is I needed to give Jean a little bit more direction on this. These guys needed a little bit more space, but she did it when my back was turned, and I appreciate her work. These bok choy should be over here, but they'll be fine. We'll be okay. We can have some baby bok choy if we need to, which is really, really great grilled. So the peppers are all thriving, and that's great. Spinach is growing. The peas have loved the fact that we've had some heat, which is odd for peas, but they are growing a lot. So we've got our carrots, and the radishes are over here. This is almost all beans here, and then the edamame is all right here. So that is where we're at for the garden in spring, and we'll see you again soon.